Hey dolls! Okay, so today I'm going to show you how to do your own deco case. The couple things that you're going to need are puffy paint and a clear case and some toilet paper or paper towel. So starting off, we're just going to do the side drizzle. I'm just taking my puffy paint and I'm just starting at the camera hole, and then I'm just spreading it all out, and then I'm going to go along the sides and do the little drips just like so. So you can kind of see the technique that I'm using. I just kind of pull it down and then I go back and spread it out a little bit more so it looks something like that. So now I'm just going to finish up the rest of the case. Again, you can just see what I'm doing, pulling it up a little bit, spreading it out. And then this just makes it so it'll go perfectly underneath the silicone, so you won't be able to tell, like, obviously where the drizzle is and where the silicone meet. It'll be kind of more fluent and it won't look as, I don't know, messy per se. So I'm just smoothing that all out, finishing up the rest of the case. Just like so. And there we go. There is the case. And then you want to let it dry. I let mine dry 4 to 5 hours. So there is that. You want to wait till it's completely dry. So once it's dry, this is obviously a case that I pre-drizzled, but it's all dry and everything. And I'm taking this silicone. You want to get the premium waterproof silicone. I get this. It's the GE brand, and I get it at Walmart. And you want to make sure and get white. They also have clear. And then a frosting tip. I prefer the plastic ones because, as you can see, the metal ones kind of are harder to clean, but I get these at Walmart too. And then, of course, some clear Scotch tape. And like I said before, we need a little bit of paper towel to clean up our little messes. And then these cabochon pieces, they are called cabochons, and I get mine on Etsy, but you can pretty much find them all over the internet. But just little pieces to put on the case. And the very first thing we want to do is tape down that blank case so it doesn't wiggle around everywhere while we are trying to do the frosting piping or the silicone piping. So as you can see, I'm just pressing it down and it ain't going anywhere. And as for the silicone, we just want to cut that tip off right there. I just go in and use an X-Acto knife or a razor blade, and you can see it just pops right off. You just cut it right off. And then taking the paper towel or toilet paper, I am just going to clean out all that icky gucky stuff that is at the very, very end of the tube, like in the very beginning of the tube, because we do not want any of that on our case. That is icky and gross, and it's just all slimy, and it is very, very messy. So we don't want that. So I just fold that over so it's out of the way and I don't accidentally stick my hand in it. So moving on to the next step. Now this part's pretty much just self-explanatory. You just want to put the frosting tip right on the end of that silicone tube. I love the tubes because they're easy to squeeze, and then once you're done with them, you can just throw them away. And these frosting tips actually fit perfectly with the tube itself. So just make sure it's secure on there and it ain't gonna go anywhere either. Now on to actually making the case itself. As you can just see my technique, this is pretty much, I don't really have to explain much. You can just kind of see what I'm doing. After every single little dollop or piping of the silicone that I do, I actually clean off the tip so it doesn't get all stringy and gooey, because you can see this particular silicone is really stringy and gooey, but if it's done correctly, it shouldn't affect the outcome of your case at all. So yes, I'm just going to clean that off like so and finish up the rest of the case. You can just kind of see my technique that I'm using here. Just squeezing and pulling and squeezing and pulling. And then at the bottom, I like to do that little loop to make it have a cute little tail. And then just a little loop, as you can see. And then one more little row, just like so. And then, not on all my cases, but sometimes I like to go in and fill in a couple of those extra little holes, just so there aren't holes when you're putting on the pieces. But most of the time my pieces actually fill up all my holes anyway. So yes, I'm just filling in a couple, and now it's time to start placing the pieces. And I will actually fill in those holes a little bit as I go along, as you'll see here. But the placement of the pieces is really completely and totally up to you. Sometimes what I like to do is lay everything out on the case first before I even start putting the silicone on, and then I will look at my phone, like I'll take a picture of it, and then while I'm in the process of actually placing, as you can see here, I'll be looking at a photo that I took of the layout, like on my phone or something, and it will really help me to get the layout exactly how it was before. But you can pretty much either just wing it, or you can take a photo first, whatever helps you and your personal design aesthetic or your creativeness. Just whatever fits you and whatever you think is best. And you don't have to use fancy pieces like this. You can use old jewelry pieces, just whatever works for you. And so that is the finished case right there. I hope you guys enjoyed this tutorial. If you did, please give it a thumbs up and share it with your friends so they can make their own little DIY cases. And yes, I'm going to go ahead and wrap this up, and I will talk to you all in my next video. So until then, so long, stay strong, stay true, and be you. Okay, bye guys!